Okay, guys, so I'm back here, your broker Feliciano, March 11, 2025. This is part two of rentals. And what are the requirements? What are the procedure? How to work with potential customers, renters, tenants? Um, so, in part one of this video, I already went over what forms and how to use the compensation agreement owner to listing broker to tenant broker, the exclusive buyer broker agreement, transaction broker, and the showing agreement. We're done with those. Those are the forms you use. Now, it's time to prior to that, obviously you were supposed these questions, okay, and let's go. So when a realtor is assisting a potential customer looking for rental, they should ask key questions to understand their needs, budgets, and preferences. Here are the essential ones. Basic information. Number one, what is your budget for rent? Including utilities should be included. Okay, so those are questions that you need to ask. Two, when are you looking to move in? Again, somebody called, we are in March 11th, but somebody called you and they said, hey, I'm looking to move in June. Will you start showing properties now? No. I would say at least 30, maybe 45 days prior for them to move in. Why? Because no landlord is going, or no property management is going to remove a property for 2 months for a customer. Okay? Three, how long of a lease term are you seeking? Short term, 6 months, 1 year. You need to ask those questions. Four, had you rented before? Why? You want to know what is their history in rentals. Do you have any pets? You need to know that ahead of time. Type, type of breed, size applicable. Understand some communities don't allow aggressive breeds. Six, how many people will be living in the rental? Again, it's important. Some landlords don't allow, I don't know, 10 people in one house. I don't know. Seven, what is your preferred location or neighborhood? Eight, do you need parking? If so, how many spots? Important. Nine, what type of rentals are you looking for? Apartment, condo, house, townhouse, etc. 10, are you open to walk-ups or do you require an elevator? That means if they're looking for a condo, I suppose, and some buildings, maybe they're two-story building, three-story building, sometimes they don't have elevators. So those are things to consider when working in showing apartments, building. Okay, financial and background information. Okay, oh, here, 11. What is your appropriate monthly income to ensure affordability? Meaning you need to know how much they make. And I will cover that on the bottom. 12. Are you currently employed? If so, where and for how long? Important. Most landlords in property management prefer somebody that's working at least a year. Preferable a couple of years, but at least a year. 13. Why? Because it shows stability, shows that they're not jumping from job to job, right? And landlords worry a lot about it because they want someone stable. 13, do you have a credit score or rental preference available? That will be good to know. What is your credit score? Do you have any rental references? 14, will you be willing to provide a security deposit first and last month? That way you already know, hey, is these people have the money to cover for the rent? Most landlords and property management companies, they either looking for 3 months or 2.5 months. Okay, depends. Do you have any previous eviction or issues with past landlords? You need to know that. Why? Because this is where you use your skills as a expert negotiator for your client, your customer. If they have an eviction, how do you work things around? Extra deposit, negotiate. Somebody has to rent them. But talk. You are the expert. Negotiate. An additional deposit, sometimes maybe 2 months additional deposit. It's all negotiable. Lifestyle and preference. 16. Do you need a furnished or unfurnished rental? You need to know. 17. How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you require? 18. Do you have any must-have amenities? So that's amenities. Those are in communities. A gym, a pool, laundry, unit, balcony, etc. 19. Do you prefer a particular floor level? That's for apartments. If you're working with older people, they usually prefer the first floor because of their needs. 20. Do you need do you need access? Do you need access to a public transportation or schools nearby? Some people don't have a car and they want to know if there are buses, taxis, you name it, train, so on, airport. This question help narrow down options and ensure the potential tenant find a rental that meets their needs. Would you like me to refine this list based on a specific market and customer type? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, part two. In Florida, landlords and property management companies typically require tenants to meet certain criteria before approving a rental application. These basic requirements for renting property in Florida usually include proof of income. Tenant must provide proof of stable income. I said it on the first portion to ensure they can afford the rent. That is the most important part for a landlord or a property management company. Many landlords require income to be at least 2.5 to 3 times the monthly rent I mentioned before. Acceptable proof of income uh, proof acceptable proof includes paid stuff, tax return, bank statement, or any employment verification letter. Credit check. Most landlords check the tenant's credit score to assess financial responsibility. Obviously, that's what credit history shows. That if somebody has, I don't know, credit in the 600s and maybe a couple of collections, but small, that means that potential customer is responsible. They pay their bills on time. That's what landlords and property management look in the credit history. Its score about 6 to 650 is generally preferred, but policies vary. It is true. It's not set stone. It's negotiable, but that's what most landlords and property management prefer. Obviously, low credit may require a higher deposit or co-signer. Yes, that's what you as an agent negotiate for your customer, right? That's what you charge a retainer, your skills. 3, background check. A criminal background check is a standard for many rentals. Some landlords may reject applicants with felonies or serious misdemeanors, while others evaluate a case by case basis. Again, nothing is written in stone. Everything is negotiable when it comes to background. Again, rental history and preference. Landlords often contact previous landlords to verify rental history. Yes. Or you as an agent. A good rental history, on time payments, no eviction, increases approval and changes. Some landlords require at least 1 year of rental history. Again. 5, security deposit and fees. Florida law does not limit the security deposit amount, but most landlords charge 1 to 2 months rent. Okay. Additional fees may apply for pets, application processing, and background checks. Now, in question of the security deposit, and this is if you are the listing agent or property manager. Some landlords require first month and 2 month security, but no last month. And why they prefer 2 month security instead of first, last, and security? The reason is last is to cover your last month. So that means they only have 1 month security deposit. But what about when the tenant move out and the damages exceed the one security deposit? So that is the reason some landlords require 2 months security deposit, just for your knowledge and if you want to apply it. 6, valid identification. A government issue ID, driver license, passport is required for applicants. Lease agreement. Tenant must sign a lease agreement outlining rental amount, duration, rules, and policies. Federal law allows both written and verbal leases. Verbal leases, pay attention, but written contracts are standard. In writing, guys, no verbal. I know it says there, but if you want something to stand in front of law, you in writing, no verbal. A, pet policy if applicable. If pets are allowed, landlords may charge a non-refundable pet fee or monthly pet rent. Some properties have breeds or size restriction. I did mention that on the top portion. Would you like details on a specific rental law? All right, guys. So hopefully this video is useful for your part 1 of the previous video, and thank you. Oh, give me some likes on my YouTube channel. I need likes.